Hey everyone, and welcome back. You know, I know you're probably like getting bombarded with tech news right now.
Yeah,
It's like drinking from a fire hose out there.
it is.
But no worries. That's where we come in.
Hey.
This is your curated deep dive into the most fascinating stories from December 10th. Tech Views 10X. And before we get started, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and give us a like.
Yes, please.
Why don't you share the video too?
Yeah.
Spread the tech love.
Spread the love.
All right, so let's jump in. Big question everyone's asking. Is AI friend or foe? I mean, on the one hand, you've got these hilarious photos from the Nikon Comedy Wildlife Photography Awards. Like, have you seen that heron trying to swallow a fish whole?
Oh, yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
AI captured a moment of pure joy. But then on the other hand, there's news about Claude AI and all these other systems being vulnerable to command prompt injection attacks.
Yeah.
Now, I'm no hacker, so break that down for me. What is that?
Yeah. So it's basically like tricking AI. You're tricking the AI systems into doing things that they really shouldn't be doing.
So like imagine you're asking a chatbot
Yeah.
to summarize a document,
Okay.
but like hidden in that request that you're making is a command that tells it to go ahead and delete all your files.
Oh, no.
It's like asking someone for directions with like malicious intent.
Yikes. So you're giving AI these bad instructions and it just blindly follows them. That's kind of scary, especially like with self-driving cars, medical diagnoses.
Exactly. It really does raise those concerns about safety and trust.
Yeah.
And it's not just hypothetical.
Well,
We saw that with Funko Pop's AI-powered brand protection service.
Right.
Mistakenly took down an independent gaming site.
Wait, really? Their AI was supposed to protect them, but it ended up like crushing a small business.
Yeah.
Ugh, what a nightmare. So it seems like this line between AI being helpful and potentially destructive is getting thinner and thinner. What do you think, listeners? Any AI mishaps out there, let us know in the comments.
It's a complex issue, yeah. It's definitely on a lot of people's minds.
I mean, Google's year-end search data shows that there's this huge spike in searches related to AI, which isn't surprising with all the stuff going on.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Speaking of Google, they're also making waves with these quantum supremacy claims.
Right.
It's a huge step forward, they say, in quantum computing. Have I heard this before?
Yeah, Google has made similar claims in the past. This time they're focusing on the stability and scalability of their quantum computers.
Okay.
So that's really key for any practical applications.
Right.
But it's important to be, a little bit skeptical.
Sure.
Quantum computing's still in those early stages.
Yeah.
It's going to be a while before we see any like widespread real-world applications.
Yeah, if it happens, though, the implications for AI are massive, right?
Oh, yeah.
It's like giving AI a brain boost on steroids.
Totally. Revolutionize machine learning, drug discovery, materials, science, all of it.
Wow.
But it also brings up the concerns about misuse. Whoever controls this is going to have a lot of power. So it's really crucial to think about ethics in all of this.
Absolutely. It's like this balancing act between progress and responsibility.
Yeah.
And it's happening everywhere. The UK is trying to position itself as a leader in the AI space, trying to balance innovation with ethical oversight. What do you think about their approach?
I mean, it's an ambitious goal. It's definitely a delicate dance.
For sure.
Trying to foster innovation, but also make sure that it's responsible development. But it's not just about individual countries anymore. The whole tech landscape is shifting. We've got these major players making big moves. For instance, Amazon teaming up with Samsung's rival to design custom next-gen tech for their AWS cloud platform.
Now, that's a power play.
Yeah.
But before we get into that, could we just do a quick ELI 5 on the hyperscaler race?
Sure.
For anyone who might not know what that is.
So basically, it's a battle of the tech titans
Okay.
to build the biggest, most powerful cloud computing infrastructure.
Wow.
I'm talking massive data centers that handle everything.
Okay.
Online shopping to streaming services, even AI development.
So it's like a competition to rule the digital world. And Amazon's bringing in Samsung's rival to get a leg up. This is juicy. What does it mean for the average internet user? Like, are my cat videos going to load faster?
It's not just about speed, but that's definitely a part of it. It's about control. Whoever dominates this space has a huge influence on the future of the internet and everything we do online.
Yeah.
Think about how much we rely on the cloud for everything. Photos, documents, music, even our social lives. This move by Amazon shows how serious they are about keeping that dominance.
It's like a digital Game of Thrones. And speaking of different approaches to the internet, we've got Russia testing their sovereign net, disconnecting some regions from the global internet. That seems like a completely different direction.
Yeah, for sure.
What do you think?
It raises questions about the future of the internet. Are we going to see a more fragmented online world, with countries or regions creating their own isolated digital bubbles?
Right.
What's that going to mean for global communication and the free flow of information?
It's a fascinating development and kind of concerning, especially when you think about how global internet traffic has actually exploded this year, with Google taking most of the hit. It seems like we're more reliant on the internet, even as some are trying to pull us apart.
Exactly. It highlights that fact that, for better or worse, the internet is becoming more and more intertwined with our lives. We depend on it for work communication, entertainment, access to information, and with all this data flying around, cybersecurity is absolutely crucial.
Oh, absolutely.
Mhm.
Especially considering that recent AWS customer cyberattack, where stolen credentials were just out in the open. Like, ouch, that's a wake-up call, even for the big guys.
Yeah, it just underscores that even with the most sophisticated tech, human error and basic security lapses can still happen.
Right.
Cybersecurity is an ongoing battle. You got to be vigilant.
Absolutely. The stakes are incredibly high,
Yeah.
especially when you think about critical infrastructure. That ransomware attack on the heart surgery device maker,
Mm.
that's a chilling reminder that these cyber attacks can have real-world consequences.
Yeah. Totally. When hackers target healthcare, the potential for harm is enormous.
It's scary for sure.
Yeah. Imagine life-saving devices getting disabled or sensitive patient data being compromised.
Gives you chills. While we're talking about potential disruptions, TikTok's warning about a U.S. ban costing businesses billions is making waves. Is this genuine or a power move? What do you think?
Tough to say. There are definitely valid economic concerns about the impact of a ban,
Right.
but there's also a lot of political maneuvering happening.
It seems like the world of tech is never short on drama, intrigue, and power plays.
Yeah.
And that, my friends, is just the tip of the iceberg.
Tip of the iceberg.
We're going to take a quick break, but when we come back, we're diving into the world of gaming and entertainment. So don't go anywhere. Hit that like button and subscribe to stay up to date on all our deep dives.
We'll be right back. It feels like every day there's a new game, a new streaming service, a new everything in the world of entertainment.
Yeah, it's hard to keep up for sure.
Yeah.
But I did notice something interesting in all of this. Like this obsession with personalization
Oh, yeah.
in both the real and digital world.
Right.
Like you see with that latest Cyberpunk 2077 patch, they've added even more character customization options.
Wow.
And then you've got that MetaQuest update with the improved hand tracking for more immersive virtual interaction.
It's fascinating how we're always trying to shape our digital selves, our avatars, our online identities. It makes you think about how identity itself is changing in this digital age.
Yeah, it's like we're blurring the lines between reality and virtual reality, and we want to have control over how we appear in both. But speaking of blurring lines, I have a confession to make, listeners. I kind of went down a rabbit hole today. I was thinking about the movie 28 Years Later,
Okay.
and I realized it's not on any streaming services. Can you believe that?
Really? That's
Yeah.
surprising for a classic like that.
I know, right? So I had to hunt down the trailer online,
Okay.
and there's this cameo in it that is so unexpected, so jaw-droppingly bizarre that I'm still processing it.
You got to tell us. Who is it?
Nope, not spoiling it.
Yeah.
You'll have to go on your own little digital treasure hunt.
All right, a challenge.
Consider it a challenge from your friendly neighborhood podcast hosts.
I like it.
But hey, while we're on the topic of games and entertainment, there's some exciting news coming up. Word on the street is Borderlands 4 and a new Mafia game might be at the Game Awards.
Oh, wow.
Sequels, reboots, those familiar franchises. Seems like we love going back to those worlds, especially when times are uncertain.
Yeah, it's comforting to revisit those stories and characters.
There's definitely something to that nostalgia, that connection to the past. But makes you wonder, are we craving something new and innovative, or are we happy with more of the same? What do you think, listeners? Are you excited for these sequels and reboots, or are you yearning for something truly original? Let us know in the comments.
Great question. And speaking of familiar faces, did you hear about Avengers? Doomsday. They're bringing back Chris Evans.
Yeah, how are they going to pull that off? Considering,
There's a mystery.
Captain America kind of, sort of, maybe died or retired.
Yeah.
It's ambiguous. But hey, it's superhero movies. Anything is possible. Multiverses, time travel, alternate realities.
Right. Who knows?
It's going to be interesting to see how they explain it. It goes back to that trend of bringing back beloved characters and revisiting those familiar storylines. Is it a lack of originality, or is it giving fans what they want?
That's the big question.
It's a debate for the ages. But one thing's for sure, entertainment often reflects our anxieties, our aspirations, our collective mood. What do our choices say about us right now? Are we looking for comfort, escapism, something deeper. It's something to think about as we take in all this content.
Definitely food for thought. And speaking of food for thought, let's move on to some hardware that's making waves. First up, something totally unexpected. Creative's Pebble Nova speakers.
These things are so cool. They look like pebbles. Super compact, colorful.
It shows you that innovation can come in the most unexpected forms. And speaking of innovation, let's talk about something that could be a real game changer: analog AI chips.
Okay, now this is where things get interesting. These chips are designed to mimic how our brains work,
Ah,
using continuous signals instead of the ones and zeros of digital chips.
yeah.
And there's a startup claiming they can achieve insane efficiency with this tech.
We're talking potentially 1,000 times more efficient than current digital chips. That's like running a supercomputer on a AA battery.
Whoa, hold on. Is this like that rumored Sigma telephoto lens? The one that's supposed to be like nothing we've ever seen?
Ah, the mythical Sigma lens. We've been hearing whispers about it forever, but nothing concrete yet.
Yeah.
Sometimes the hype gets ahead of reality. But with these analog AI chips, there's real science behind it. It'll be interesting to see how it develops.
It's true. Sometimes that hype cycle takes over. But it's a good reminder that innovation isn't always a straight line. Sometimes there are twists and turns along the way. And while some innovations are still in the works, others are exceeding expectations. Like that Intel Arc B580 GPU.
Yeah, I haven't always taken Intel's GPUs seriously,
Really?
but this new card is impressive. It's beating some of the competition, which could really shake up the graphics card market.
Competition's always good. Keeps things moving and prices in check. But then on the other hand, we've got those AMD Strix Halo leaks hinting at powerful new laptop CPUs. But also some reasons to be concerned.
Right, there are always trade-offs. More power often means more heat and less battery life. It's that balancing act that engineers are always dealing with.
And it's a balancing act that ultimately affects you, the listener. All this hardware, from GPUs to CPUs to those rumored OLED MacBook Pros, shapes your digital experience. It's easy to get lost in the specs, but what matters is how this tech affects your life, your work, your entertainment.
Absolutely. And it's not just the big ticket items either. Even small upgrades like the rumored camera improvements for the iPhone SE4 can change how we interact with the world.
It's the little things.
Yeah.
And speaking of impact, let's not forget about Spotify car thing. Remember that gadget that was supposed to revolutionize in-car music? Gone. Extinct.
Not every innovation takes off. Sometimes companies have to admit defeat. But Spotify's offering refunds to owners, which is pretty cool of them.
It's nice to see good customer service, even in the fast-paced world of tech. But while some products fade away, others generate buzz before they even exist. Those Samsung Galaxy S25 leaks have me excited and terrified. Excited about the features, terrified about the price tag.
It's the hype cycle in action. Leaks and rumors get everyone going, and we, the consumers, get caught up in the anticipation. It's all part of the fun.
It definitely keeps things interesting. But sometimes I wonder if we're too focused on the next big thing without appreciating what we already have.
Yeah.
What do you think, listeners? Are you always chasing the latest tech, or do you prefer to enjoy what you've got? Share your thoughts in the comments.
Good question to consider. And those leaked Galaxy S25 images got me thinking. Are we getting to a point where smartphones are almost too powerful? Like, do we really need all those bells and whistles?
It's a good question. Sometimes it feels like this never-ending cycle of upgrades, each one claiming to be faster, sleeker, more powerful than the last. But are we sacrificing practicality and affordability just to have the ultimate gadget? What do you think, listeners? Are you team more is more or team keep it simple? Let us know down in the comments.
While we ponder the future of smartphones, let's go back to those analog AI chips for a second. Remember, they're aiming for an efficiency of 1 petaop per second per watt.
Okay, quick refresher. What does petaop even mean? Sounds like something out of Star Trek.
It basically means 1 quadrillion operations per second.
Okay.
To put that into perspective, that's 1,000 times more efficient than what we can do with digital chips right now.
That's insane. It's like comparing a horse and buggy to a rocket ship.
Yeah.
But what does that kind of efficiency actually mean for us in the real world?
Imagine AI that's not just super powerful, but also incredibly energy efficient. Think about the possibilities for everything: smartphones, self-driving cars, even personalized medical treatments. This tech could be a game changer.
It sounds almost too good to be true. But then again, so did the internet back in the day, and look at us now. It's exciting to think about the potential of these chips, but like you said earlier, we got to be realistic. It's early days, and there will be bumps in the road.
Definitely. But even if it takes a while for this tech to fully develop, it's a fundamental shift in how we think about computing. It's not just about processing power anymore. It's about efficiency, sustainability, mimicking the human brain.
It reminds us that innovation often comes from thinking outside the box, challenging assumptions, exploring new frontiers. And we see that happening everywhere in tech, not just hardware, but gaming and entertainment too.
Speaking of which, there's some good news for fans of Naughty Dog, the studio behind games like The Last of Us and Uncharted. They've got a new art director, Raf Grassetti. He worked on God of War Ragnarok.
Now that's a powerhouse combo.
Yeah.
Grissetti's work on God of War was incredible. Can't wait to see what he does with Naughty Dog. And speaking of exciting team-ups, Disney just cast Jeremy Allen White, the star of The Bear, as Jabba the Hutt's son in the next season of The Mandalorian.
Wait, Jabba the Hutt had a son. I don't remember that.
It's a whole new chapter in the Star Wars story. And with Jeremy Allen White involved, it's going to be amazing. Have you seen The Bear? That guy can act.
I haven't yet, but it's on my list. A crime lord's son joining a bounty hunter and a baby Yoda.
This is going to be good.
It's going to be epic. But we can't wrap up this deep dive without talking about the elephant in the room, or rather, the virtual assistant in our living rooms. The most popular Alexa questions of the year are out, and some of them are kind of worrying.
Oh.
Like what?
Well, according to Amazon, the most common questions were things like, what's the weather? Play my favorite song. And get this, what is the meaning of life?
Wow, that's deep.
Right. It makes you think, are we so reliant on tech that we're asking a virtual assistant about the meaning of life?
It's an interesting point. On one hand, it's great that people are curious about these big questions, but it does make you wonder about our dependence on technology.
Are we using tech as a tool, or are we becoming slaves to it? Something to think about, especially as AI gets more and more advanced. But hey, on a lighter note, did you know Lego's releasing a new Fortnite game mode?
Lego and Fortnite. That's a combo I didn't see coming. I'm intrigued.
It's called Lego Fortnite Brick Life, and it's a social role-playing game. You build your own Fortnite world out of Legos and hang out with your friends. Pretty cool way to combine Lego creativity with the social aspect of Fortnite.
That actually sounds fun. It's a good reminder that even in this crazy world of tech, there's always room for some fun and games.
Well said. And on that note, I think it's time to wrap up this deep dive. It's been a wild ride through the world of tech, from AI vulnerabilities to gaming news to the meaning of life. Thanks for joining us, and don't forget to subscribe, like, and share this video with your friends. We'll see you next time for another deep dive into the fascinating world of tech.